Good morning, it's Dr. Dare, and today I wanted to talk to you about the elimination diet and why we do it. So the elimination diet is designed to help heal the gut. It also helps take out some of the large particulates that tend to cause you to feel toxic. So the elimination diet is difficult in one sense, but easy in another. Difficult in the sense that you are breaking foods that tend to be addictive. So you're taking out gluten, you're taking out white processed sugar, and you're taking out dairy. Now, out of these molecules, we know that sugar is very inflammatory, especially white processed sugar. You can still do things like honey, agave, monk fruit, maple syrup. Those are okay to do on the elimination diet. We just don't want any of the white death. Now, we also want to remove gluten. When gluten goes through the intestines and is broken down, it breaks down into a molecule called gliadin. Gliadin is one of those molecules that looks like a thyroid molecule. So when you have leaky gut and all those little villi open and this little gliadin molecule gets into your bloodstream, your body says, hey, wait a minute, why do we have thyroid molecules going everywhere instead of being in the thyroid? So it launches an army, and this army is designed to attack that gliadin molecule that is being misrepresented as a thyroid molecule. When this happens, it will actually attack your thyroid and can lead to a host of autoimmune deficiencies, especially things like Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So we want to remove the gluten. And you have to be careful because gluten is in absolutely everything. Soy sauce, ketchup, A1 sauce, everything has gluten in it. So when you're going gluten-free, you need to make sure that you're removing as much of the gluten as you possibly can. The other molecule that we're removing is dairy. Now, dairy can be very inflammatory for a lot of reasons. If you've ever had a cold and you drink milk, you're gonna notice you have way more mucus, more congestion. You eat a bowl of ice cream, you're gonna have more gas. If you eat a lot of cheese, you're gonna notice your joints hurt more the next day. That's because dairy can be very inflammatory to the body. And there are 3 different molecules in it. There is a couple different globulins, alpha, a beta, and a casein. Casein is the one that tends to be very inflammatory to the gut lining. So what we want to do is we want to remove these 3 food groups: gluten, white processed sugar, and dairy. And what you're doing is you're removing these for about 6 weeks or so. In the interim, you're feeding your body great fuel, things that are going to help to heal your gut. Things like antioxidants, so eating a cup of berries every single day is going to be super important. This is going to help to boost your antioxidant stores, recover mitochondrial damage, repair the gut lining. We want to increase your digestive enzymes. Now, digestive enzymes are kind of like the precursor or the army that goes before that sets up the foundation for your gut to be healthy. So digestive enzymes are going to be found in raw vegetables. So I typically tell people, if you can, do a cup of raw vegetables before your 2 largest meals. Now, a cup of raw vegetables is not that much. It is a very small amount. You can do more. You can do a salad, you can do some cucumbers, you can do some celery, whatever you want. But do make it a variety, because the more variety you have, the better you're going to be supplying this gut microbiome with an army that will help to heal, help to break down your foods, and help to absorb your nutrients. So after we've increased our digestive enzymes, what we want to do is we want to clean out the mess. And what's a great food or substance to clean out the mess? Fiber. So I tell people, try to make sure you're getting plenty of fiber in your diet. Now, if you don't want to eat a whole lot of beans, you can do sweet potatoes, apples, pretty much any fruit or vegetable in its whole. If you juice it, you lose the fiber. But the fiber is going to go through and help to clean out the intestines and help to reset the gut microbiome. The great thing about fiber is fiber will also help to break down oligosaccharides and help to re-ferment or put the good nutritional bacteria back into the gut where it needs to be. We also want to talk about fermentation. So we want to add probiotics. Probiotics is what's going to help to reestablish a neutral balance within the gut. So with this, we're wanting to do more fermented foods, things like pickles, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha. Now you can do yogurt or kefir, but it has to be a dairy-free yogurt or kefir. So, if you make your own kefir at home, you would be using water grains instead of milk grains. And if you're doing a yogurt, then it would be something like a coconut of soy or an almond. They're not super tasty, so just omit those completely. There are studies that show that if you eat a forkful of sauerkraut every single day, you can heal your gut and live very, very healthy and very, very strong. So do the fermented foods. Now, on top of these probiotics, we want some prebiotics. Prebiotics is what beefs up the probiotics and makes them stronger. So this is going to be things like onion, garlic, and leeks, and just adding more of these into your diet every single day. Now, if you're like, Dr. Garrett, I hate every single one of those foods, what can I do in the interim? Well, there are some other options. If you don't want to eat berries or fruit, you can always do an antioxidant supplement, something like an ester seed or something with some flavonoids in it, and that will help to boost that antioxidant production. Now with the berries, you can throw those in a smoothie, you can throw them in a salad, you can eat them raw, it doesn't really matter, but try to get about a cup in a day or do some antioxidants. If you're like, Dr. Garrett, I can't eat raw vegetables for whatever reason, then throw in some digestive enzymes. These are just little capsules that you'll take prior to your meals. If you're like, I cannot do fiber, you can do a benefiber. If you're like, I cannot do fermented foods, then you can do a pre and probiotic combo. Now, a couple other things to keep in mind when we're trying to talk about digestion and aiding digestion. You need to chew your food thoroughly. Now, we are in the habit of inhaling our food. We don't even sit down to eat very often anymore. You need to be in a good mindset to eat. So what I typically tell my patients is I want you to sit down at a dinner table. I want you either to say grace and get in a good mindset or do deep breathing exercises. Breathe in. Hold that breath for 2 seconds, breathe out for 4, hold that empty breath for 2 seconds, breathe in, and just keep doing this to put your mind in the rest and digest, to switch to that parasympathetic reflex. Now, after that, I want you to make sure you are chewing your food thoroughly. If you have a big conglomerate mess in your mouth and you're passing this through to your intestines, your stomach has to work harder to try to break it down and churn it up. Your intestines are not going to be able to draw off all of the nutrients off of it, so chew well. And one final thought, when you are having a meal, you should not be drinking with your meal. If you are, it should just be sips of water to get things down. Your stomach acid is set at a very deliberate pH based off of when the food hits your tongue, you're going to be releasing different enzymes, whether that is a protein or a fat or a carbohydrate. Your stomach is going, or your mouth is going to release different enzymes. Those enzymes trigger a reaction within the brain that tells your stomach acid, hey, I need you to be set at this. So when you're eating, then the stomach acid is set to help break down, digest, and mobilize the nutrients the way that it's supposed to. If for some reason, however, you are gobbling down tons of water or milk or whatever it is that you drink with your meals, what's going to happen is you are going to dilute that stomach acid and you're going to notice more indigestion. You're not going to get the nutrients out of it the way that you're supposed to. Now, this can take us into a whole nother series about food combinations and how certain foods do not work well together and it can cause more indigestion. But for today, I just wanted to talk about the elimination diet and how this can help to improve your gut health. If you have any questions, give me a call, 812-290-2128, and I hope you have a lovely day.